might need one of those popsicle crosses to get through this. I don't know. But thank you. I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to look at it. So first I want to say it's really interesting how I came to be here. When Pastor Sean first asked for people to speak, my son Grayson, he said, "Mom, I think you need to do this." And I said, no, flat, no questions. Each week we came to church, and I saw that there was still one person that was needed to speak, and something just kept speaking to me, saying, maybe your son's right. This is for you to do. So I asked Pastor Sean if I could do it. He said yes, and I'm really excited and pleased to be able to do this. It's been in my mind since the day I said yes that I wanted to do this. So I'm truly blessed to have several God stories, but I've chosen this particular one because I feel it really changed my life. So for those of you who may not know, I've been a property manager for about 23 years, which really means I'm a fixer of all things that go wrong. That's all it is, nothing more than a glorified fixer of things. That's what I do. And I feel I'm pretty successful in this role due to how independent I am. I don't need a lot of guidance. I just pick up and do, and it's kind of always been my nature. And much of this independence began when I moved out from my family home at the age of 16, and then I got married at the age of 19, all very young. And that, of course, makes you pick up and grow up really fast when you're at that age and doing the things that you're doing. And from the moment that I got married, even though I was only 19 at the time, I knew that I wanted nothing more than to be a mother. So over the next 5 years, we tried repeatedly to make sure that I could have this baby that I wanted, but all attempts failed. And during the 5 years, I endured a miscarriage and a full-term stillborn baby girl. So obviously this took a toll on myself, took a toll on my relationship, and unfortunately my marriage ended in a divorce. So I just kept moving along, I just kept picking up the pieces and just keep moving along. And then a short time later, I met John and we started to build a life together. Again, my desire to be a mother just kept stirring. I couldn't calm it and knew that that's what I needed to fulfill my life. So we spent the next 10 years of our lives trying to conceive with no success. So we sought the help of fertility specialists, and I was determined that this was going to be the answer. We tried multiple procedures, again with no success. This was emotionally, physically, and financially draining, and we decided that it was time to take a break. Well, then 5 years later, I knew my time was running out. I was not a young person anymore, and it was, if this is what I was going to do, I needed to do it now. So we decided to try again. This time around, my doctors performed several genetic tests and determined that I had a blood clotting disorder that may have contributed to the death of my daughter. So we had a plan now. I felt like this was going to be it. We had our plan, and we knew this was going to work. So we opted for a fertility plan that gave us 4 attempts at IVF this time. So this was expensive, but we felt based on the prior and past experiences that this is, what we should do. So we completed our first round of IVF, and we were only able to implant 2 embryos, which was not what we were looking for. At my age, we were looking to have more opportunities. So the day had come to see if I had conceived or not. And I remember this as plain as I can remember anything in my life, laying in bed that night and praying. And my prayer was, God, if I was not meant to be a mother, I will accept it and trust that you have other plans for me. These were words that I never thought I would say, but I felt a peace like I had never felt before as I said them. All these years, I truly thought I could make this happen, as I was the fixer of all things that went wrong. and I was willing to do whatever it took to make it happen. But in that moment of prayer, I felt that I was not alone in this. I realized I was never alone in this. I just never took my fears, my frustrations to God. I thought I could control it all. And at that moment, I started to understand what being in a relationship with God was. It's not, I always felt like going to church, doing good things, that was a relationship with God, but it's not. It's trusting in God and knowing that he sees us through all things. So for us, fortunately, the first try was the good try. We found out that I was pregnant. Not an easy pregnancy by any means. Multiple times during the pregnancy, I was told that our son was going to be born with severe birth defects that would result in death, and that I should terminate the pregnancy. That happened twice. Again, I found myself praying to God, and I said, God, this is not my decision to make. I trust you, and I will accept the plans that you have for me. Thankfully, I trusted in God, because as you have all seen and as you all know me, I am Grayson's mom, and he is just as perfect as he could be, and has grown into a wonderful, loving boy. And since that time, I have endured many, many other times in my life where I've struggled and, been scared, been afraid, but I just have to quiet myself long enough to remember that I am not alone in my journey in faith with God, and he will see me through anything. So several weeks ago, Pastor Sean was asked people to come up, maybe a month or so ago, and ask people to, quote their favorite Bible verse. And mine, since this time, has been, be still and know that I am God. God blesses us every day, and I have my son and all the struggles that I went through to prove it. And I am just as grateful as I could be for this journey that I've had with God, and it continues to grow. Thank you.